Scratch that, I'll get some beers and get chuggy. Nah, man, I know what I need, some old man huggy. Old man huggy. Some old man huggy. Put your headphones on for proper audio quality.
Back again. Angry Black Quarterback, episode number 44. The Super Bowl we didn't want. At least that's how I feel about it. Of course, I am here. I have 2.0 with me. I have Smellwood. 2.0, your hair is getting curly as fuck. What is this? What's going on here? You're muted.
Yeah, I had a good workout before this. Got a little sweaty, so it's fresh out of the shower.
So
That's why it's all long and curly.
Oh, okay. So the messy, wet curl. Touche.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have Smellwood, everybody's favorite grumpy dad. How are you, sir?
Milestone tonight, boys. In a good mood.
And
Took our official first dump on the toilet tonight with the kiddo.
oh, shout out! Another round of applause.
Big ups.
That's awesome. Well, shout out. Way to be a good parent. Look at that. Some people never learn to poop in the toilet, and you've already overcome that hurdle. No, I mean, I saw this video of this guy. He got caught, I guess, pooping behind a dumpster behind somebody's business, and this dude opens up the back door, hits him with the door. Right, this guy's already like mid squat, makes him pick it up, and then just walk off. He goes to throw it in the dumpster, and the guy doesn't let him. He makes him walk, pull his pants up, and walk, holding his shit in his hand. That was absolutely hilarious. I was like, damn, imagine
You see the
levels of shame. You get hit by a door while your pants are down and you're squatting behind a dumpster. Then you get called out in broad daylight for taking a dump. Then that person punks you, makes you pick it up and walk away. Just hold like.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be something.
But also, we'll see. Super Bowl episode conversation happened. Mr. Goody might swing by today with some parlays and prop bets.
Oh, with your poop story, it made me think of. Did you see the drone footage at the PDGA, the Pebble tournament?
No.
It was live on TV, and like, what is it? What's that golf tournament? It's Pebble something. I forget what it's called.
Pebble
It's
Beach.
like Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yeah, so it was the final day, and it's like showing the coverage, and they're going around a green, and it's like this drone shot. And while the drone's going around, you see this dude casually just walking down to these bushes, and then the drone's just slowly there, and then like even the camera people are like, oh, and this dude just starts taking a piss live on drone cam. It was pretty funny.
That's pretty great.
And he literally like is like being legit, like he's picking a legit bush that's away from people, not knowing that this drone's fucking filming him the whole time.
That's pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
hey, Wyndham Clark won that tournament. Shout out to Highlands Ranch boy.
Okay, shout out Highlands Ranch.
Where's Highland Ranch?
That's where he went to school. It's like South Lake, but in Denver.
Oh,
He actually went
you
to
know,
high
I had a
school with
feeling.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. You did. That is true.
Like I said, I actually had a feeling if it's Highland in the beginning, it's probably really rich.
Yeah.
Highland Park.
Highland Park.
They always had a good wrestling team.
All the
Hated
lakes,
those
all the
fuckers.
lakes are pretty nice though. North Lake, South Lake, they're all nice. West Lake.
There we go. Yeah, Westlake is unreal.
Well, we took last week off, but it's good to be back. And if Goody does come back, I expect everybody to get along. I expect everybody to be cool. I expect there to be
No beef here, dude.
two-way apologies because I love both of you guys.
I
But
don't know though. If he comes hot, I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone lately. So
oh, that's great. What are you gonna do?
I'll put on my cowboy digs.
Show up and be like, "Look here, buddy, you got a problem
here.
with me? I know they might be trying to put a goddamn Walmart supercenter out here, but until then, it's my land, and I bury who I want to bury on it. You hear me, boy?" And they're like, "Yeah, you get 'em, Paul. Now calm down, Jethro. Get back behind that bush. Keep an eye out. Prospectors are on their way. We gotta make 'em a scare. Dig your own holes. Get in it. All right, walk away."
Yeah, I just started watching that show.
It's a little absurd. It's like there's no point. I think
It
one of the
is.
writers said
It's
there's
like-
no plot.
It's like the writer is like obsessed with like cowboys and ranch life, but like also is a really big fan of The Sopranos. So he's like, all right, we gotta have some cowboys making hits on motherfuckers. And
He thinks he's
like
gonna
the
come
gangsters
through
of the-
here.
Yellowstone.
Miss-
Yeah, dude, Super Bowl. I almost picked it. I almost picked my upset or my anti-conspiracy picks just to have the teams go in that
Well,
way.
I'm not excited about the Super Bowl at all. I mean,
Honestly, what I don't know why people are hating on Kansas City Dynasty so much when I think it's actually pretty cool that we're seeing like a
no.
I didn't think we would see a new dynasty so quickly after the Brady
Well,
dynasty
what
era. Because, I mean, Mahomes, and this is why I say it. Let's be real. I think all three of us can agree. No one thought the Chiefs were going to make it past round 2 in the playoffs. So the fact that they're in again, Mahomes is Mahomes, Kelsey is Kelsey. You know, we'll find out people's picks later and bets and stuff. But man, if I had to put money down, I'd be probably picking Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I think a lot of people have issues with Kansas City because of the blatant
Swifty.
nah, not just Swifty, but like, and I mean, I digress. I know I give it shit, but it's really just like goofy. You know, it's like the same thing when they're like, "Oh, they want a Travis Kelce haircut." And everybody's like, "Dude, the fade's been around for forever." Then he's got to say that he didn't invent the fade cut. It's like, what are we doing right now? Like the whole just like stupid shit. Like I know it's around the Super Bowl, so I guess it's more the idiocracy around.
Well, did you
hold
see
on, hold on. It's like
the-
I think the annoying thing about, at least for me as a football fan, about the Taylor Swift thing is the same thing that's annoying about the Super Bowl. It's all this extra stupid shit that comes along with football, that they walk around, they ask dumb questions, they talk about dumb stuff to just try to fill time. Does that make sense? So when they're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Chubb
well,
is-"
and it's, I think football in general, or just sports, or just society, we could say. I just watched an interview with Baker Mayfield, and apparently Baker Mayfield had a dance that they were calling like the Baker dance or something. And like in the interview, he talked about like him doing it, and then this other player that played against him doing it, and thinking if it was disrespect. Then they saw both of them together doing it at the Pro Bowl, and Baker was like, "Until y'all said that, I didn't know that was my dance move."
Yeah, he did.
He's
Some,
like, "Y'all just put my name to it. I didn't know that was my move."
he did some goofy like Dougie type thing.
Yeah.
Whenever he like, yeah, and then Amon-Ra did it in the playoffs. Whenever he scored his touchdown. But it's just like, you know, like the whole like trying to make a soap opera. I guess all the sports have soap operas. It just adds to it. So it's just, you know, it creates that extra bleh. So, but yeah, I mean, Kansas City pulled it off, and we'll talk about those games first. Because I mean, Ravens choked, just stopped running the ball, stopped doing what they did all year, missed passes, dumb decisions. I mean, Ravens controlled that game. But, I mean, the defense for Kansas City makes plays when they need to. They got good corners. And then obviously the Niners-Lions game, Lions wet the bed. Super frustrating.
really
They
thought
were
they had it.
out to a big lead, and they're just wild and crazy with it. Drop passes on going forward on fourth down attempts. So I mean, both teams deserve to be there. It's just not who I wanted to see, like Ravens versus Lions. I wanted to see somebody else. That's like it's you don't want the playoffs, and it can have that feel to it, but it's like the college football playoffs, where it's like, and the teams are Bama, Georgia, Michigan. And then it's like Notre Dame, or it's LSU, or it's OU, right? It's always some like random at Florida, maybe one year, but it's always like
Don't
those
forget about Texas, baby.
those three teams. Well, that's of recent years. Let's not act like that's a foregone.
And past.
Yeah, in the past, but there's been a gap between.
Like, I forget how long Vince Young and what's his name weren't that big of a gap between each other. And they both went to national championships.
Yeah, but winning.
The douchebag that.
Well, none of them have been to the
told me
playoff.
about.
None of them went to the playoff. So none of them.
Yeah, that
that's
wasn't
what I'm saying.
existed, yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, it's Texas's first time in the playoff. It's been the same teams in the playoffs, so now it's starting to feel like the same teams in the fucking Super Bowl, which is fine. I get it.
Before
This
we
is
get into any
it was an
games,
open
too,
year.
Can we talk about coach moves?
Well, yeah, okay.
And what everyone thinks.
Well, let's ask Joe, Mr. 2.0. What do you want to?
Yeah.
What do you want to discuss first? Coaches or the last week's games or the previous games? AFC, NFC championship game. Which one would you prefer?
Let's do last week's games.
All right, we'll do the games first, then we'll talk coaching changes, then we'll talk.
He just wanted to go against me.
Nah, maybe not. He's not
Yeah.
He's not that bad of a guy.
Yeah, you told him Goody was going to be here tonight. He's feeling that spirit.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about the Ravens and the Chiefs game first. I mean, 17-10. Ravens only put up 10 points.
Yeah. For what was
And there was a
considered
touchdown
the
in the
best
first.
offense in the league. Yeah, that was.
Well, and then
Did
they
not see that happening.
they only got a field goal in the second half because of turnovers. They shut out the Chiefs in the second half. They made the adjustments on defense. I mean, Pat Mahomes, 30 of 39 for 241 and one touchdown. That's not like world beating, but 20 for 37, 272, one touchdown, one pick. Then there was the fumble by Zay Flowers. He had 5 for 115 and a touchdown, but you still fumbled another one, reaching out for the end zone when you're diving. Like, you're not on the ground. It's stupid. You might as well have just dived on the ground and slid in because you're not down until you're touched, right? And it's a dive forward. It's not a slide, so you're not protected. But, yeah, I mean, they fucking wet the bed. There's no other way to put it. Lamar Jackson only had 8 carries for 54 yards. He's your leading rusher. They looked like they were running the ball pretty well in the beginning. I mean, Gus Edwards, 3 for 20. How do you know if anybody can do it? Your third leading rusher was 2 for 4. Who do you think that was? Zay Flowers.
Well, if I remember correctly, didn't Kansas City go up 10? Was it 10-0 early? Like by a field goal and a touchdown or something? So I think
they had those two long drives that took like 8 minutes apiece or something.
But this Ravens defense showed up. They had some penalties like that punch to the face when they hit Mahomes. But in the second half, this defense showed the fuck up. They could not put the ball in the end zone. They couldn't.
I think it showed the pressure. Like, we knew Baltimore already had the pressure as far as the hump getting to the Super Bowl with Lamar. And Chiefs coming out so comfortable because they have, we've been here, every fucking year in the conference championship. And yeah, it just showed like that play calling. It was just like they got on their heels quick, decided, oh fuck, we got to go toe to toe with Mahomes. And like you said, they just forgot everything that got them there.
Yeah, I mean,
like what happens to the Cowboys? It felt like a Cowboys game. Like, oh, let's do opposite of what we did good all year.
yeah, but the Chiefs, like, I mean, not to be a dick, but the Cowboys gave up what scores on like 8 straight possessions or some wild shit. Like their defense, like 17-10. That's a close game. If Zay Flowers doesn't fumble and gets in the end
Well, I
zone,
didn't
that
mean
game
about
was
that.
so.
I meant
I'm
far
just
as
saying,
you
like,
saying Baltimore didn't run the ball, and it's like they're like a dominant running team.
yeah, I mean,
I say that in the sense of Cowboys, like we were a good man defense, and then all of a sudden we're going zone.
so
More of the game. Like, what?
Zay Flowers 5 for 115 with a touchdown. Then the next leading 1 for 39, Nelson Aguilar. Then you got 4 for 34, 3 for 22. Like they didn't do shit. Like this wide receiving core, which is what they invested in, what they chose to ride with, right? That's what they decided on, and what they've really has been their bread and butter, especially the RPO, the read option. But choosing not to invest in that at all during this is mind blowing. That your leading rusher, I mean, altogether, what is that? 8, 10, 16 rushes all game for like 82 yards. That's not going to cut it, especially whenever you have that sort of talent and you have that mix of power run, speed run. They have so many options. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, and that their best passing game comes directly off of their running game.
Yeah. And that's
it's when Lamar Jackson's at his best too. Yeah.
And that's where this game could be interesting, because where Patrick Mahomes has been able to will them through, Pacheco's shown up, made plays. I mean, he had 24 rushes.
Pacheco, man.
But I mean, but hold on. But he's 24 rushes for 68 yards, 2.8 yards a rush.
But they were big runs when they needed it.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, he had some big chunk runs when they needed it to ice the game, for sure. But like I said, they shut them out the whole second quarter. If they just put the ball, if they kick a field goal on one, if let's say they just get a field goal when he throws into the interception, doesn't chunk up that stupid ball, and then on the other one, let's say he doesn't fumble and just scores. They're up 3. They win by a field goal. If one of those is a touchdown, then they're going to overtime, because the Chiefs didn't do anything on offense the entire second half. It's not like they were barn burning. 11 for 116, 10.5 with a touchdown. Kelsey did his damage in the first half. Scantling, 2 catches, 38 yards. One of them was on that big-ass play at the end of the game to ice the game, not to put points on the board. Rashid Rice, 8 for 46. Justin Watson, 1 for 16. Pacheco, 4 for 14. So it's not like their offense, and I've said this all years, their offense is not that impressive. Like, if somebody lines up and matches up with them well on defense, is going to be a sure tackler and can put like 5-6 guys in the box and stop Pacheco from running the ball. You could do a lot of damage on this offense if you're equipped.
Well, I feel like
you're equipped properly.
This even proves more of the dynasty of Chiefs go out and win it, and everything to your point. Every great quarterback, Manning, Brady, in recent history, even if they just win one Super Bowl or 2, there's 1 or 2 Super Bowls in their mix that it's like, it's always up for debate as far as their defense won them that Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Because they're and people have said all year, Mahomes has never had that. Mahomes has always had, it's all on you. Our defense isn't that great. And everyone's been saying all year, this is the best defense Kansas City has had. Or this is the best defense Mahomes has ever had.
Yeah.
And so I think that game showed it. And I think I think Baltimore, was the first test. But honestly, what's y'all's opinion? What do you think's a harder test for Kansas City's defense? Baltimore's offense or San Francisco's offense?
I think it's got to be San Francisco. San Francisco has so many ways they can attack you. They have so many weapons, so many things you have to account for. You also have Kyle Shanahan calling the offensive plays, not whoever's calling it for Baltimore.
But you think Andy Reid takes part of that video from the Baltimore game where Baltimore just ate up fucking San Francisco?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. That's one of the only games that San Francisco looked mortal.
And I think this game's gonna come down to the players on the field. No, I don't think either coach is gonna outcoach the other.
Mhm.
What you looking at, Jazz?
I'm just looking at this stuff. I'm trying to adjust this thing real quick. Yeah, I mean, Andy Reid's offense is equipped, but this linebacking core, you think about Fred Warner, you think about the strength of the middle of this defense, is a lot of the exploitation you see that happens in this Andy Reid offense, and really where Travis Kelce's the most versatile, right? Is when he's running these choice routes, when he's sitting down on routes in the middle of the field. It's whenever he's really the most effective. If you have him outside the numbers, Travis Kelce's not nearly as effective, right? Unless he's like running around and it's some scramble type shit. But normally it's somewhere in between the numbers, right? Most of the time. And I feel like that's really where the strength of this defense lies, not just in like tackling ability, but athleticism, getting depth. I mean, we saw the interception that the Niners had against the Packers, where it was, a Greenlaw running down the field, making some diving interception. Like, they have the ability to take away those gimmies in the middle of the field with just Fred Warner and Greenlaw, or some combination of the two. And with their safety play, I mean, this defense is set up. Now, granted, like, the Chiefs also have a good defense, but both of these teams kind of suck against the run yards per attempt. They're like towards the middle of the pack when it comes to stopping the run per run, but they stop people when it matters, right? Most of these good defenses nowadays are bend, but they don't break, rather than like, oh, we're just going to stop you every single play because you're lining up an eye and you can't move my guys move your guys, all that bullshit. Since we're past that, it's way more about, bending when you need to and stopping them in the red zone, getting turnovers, getting those sacks and timely plays. This Niners defense is good at that. And I mean, honestly, more games than not, besides, these past couple games in the playoffs, but even in these playoffs, there's been plays where the Chiefs have not answered the call like they normally would, where they would make the play they'd normally make. It's just the other.
Well, same
the
thing
other.
We said with San Francisco.
Hold on. But definitely. But no, we've seen San Francisco make the plays when they need to make them to ice a game. Now we've seen the Chiefs do it. What, 2 games in a row? 1 game, especially this last one was with Scantling catching that ball. We've seen them ice games and close games, but we've seen Mahomes give up sacks, horrible time sacks, and then there's a penalty the next play. We've seen the same thing from San Francisco, but more games than not, San Francisco's iced their games. The Chiefs, even though they've done it with the past 2, more times than not, have not been able to ice these games. It's going to be good, but this Niners defense matches up well. So it's really going to be a chess match. Shanahan versus Reid, offensive guy versus offensive guy. I mean, now if the Niners are at 100% strength and they have like their safety and all the crazy other talent that they have, I think the Niners like win this game easy. But where they're structured, it's a pick 'em. But I mean, the Chiefs defense against McCaffrey, who's like a man on a mission right now. That's going to be interesting because you give up high yards per attempt, but we say bend don't break, but high yards per attempt against McCaffrey might be poison. And then let's real quick, since we're kind of off this one, just rambling about these fucking games. I mean, this Lions-Niners game, crazy game. Lions up big time, then blow the lead. Brock Purdy looked more than human. Brock Purdy looks semi-beatable right now. He is not playing his best football. I mean, Goff, he threw the ball 41 times, 25 of 41, 273, no interceptions. Montgomery, 93 and a touchdown. Laporta, 9 for 97. I mean, this game was a game of games. Right? But I mean, bad clock management, for sure. I mean, there was an end around touchdown by Jamison Williams, and he was like stumbling around like he was going to get tackled, and then somehow kept going.
Yeah, I know. Some of the drop passes, I just couldn't believe. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, Reynolds, man. Reynolds has got to be still sick because he had 1 for 25, but he dropped another like 3 for 45 in that game on
And the
big,
fourth down one was huge. You
huge,
know, it was just like wide open, good pass. It was just like, come on, dude.
big time drop, big time drop. And then he had another one later, but that was like his second drop. So he had a bad one. Then he had the fourth down. Then he had another chance to catch another one to make up for it, and he dropped that one. And it was just like, oh my gosh. You just saw him sitting there staring at the turf, face down, and you feel for the guy. But yeah, I mean the Niners pull it out. I mean Gibbs 12 for 45 with a touchdown. I mean they played a good game minus some bad clock management. 20 for 90 with 2 touchdowns. Brock Purdy had 5 for 48. Oh, I wanted him to get his head taken off so bad when he was running around like that. I was like, somebody rip this dude's fucking head off. I'm sorry. I just, is that bad?
No.
I was just like, man, he gets on my nerves.
I was gonna ask if you who thinks the San Francisco gets an injured player in the game, and if so, who's the player gonna be?
Well, I don't want to.
And I only say that just because San Francisco's cursed with all their injuries and big moments.
I mean, I don't want to put that on anybody.
Gonna be McCaffrey. Gonna be Purdy.
This is
Gonna
like
be
the
Debo.
healthiest. This is the healthiest McCaffrey's been in like forever.
That's the statement that just jinxed them right there. That's the announcer.
It's
McCaffrey
true, though.
hasn't gotten an injured in
He's been
most
just
games in
he's
his
been
whole
really
career.
no. He's just been really healthy this year. That's what plagued him a lot. He had a lot of ankle injuries. He's always been banged up. Then he got.
I don't know if we.
And then
talked
last
about it,
year,
but
Purdy
about him
blew.
dropping a bunch of weight.
Then Purdy blew out his elbow. He got a noodle arm. Yeah, but I mean, we were so close. I was talking about how if Goff gets to the Super Bowl, then he's just like gonna transcend time and space, which is still true. I mean, you got to give it up to the guy. I mean, he's a solid quarterback. Is
the city of
Detroit.
is
Goff a top 10 quarterback? I mean, absolutely. I think you have to say he is.
I mean, he's gone to a Super Bowl and a conference championship.
2 Super Bowls.
Or 2 conference championships.
2 conference. No. Yeah, because he went to the Super Bowl with the Rams. They lost.
But he hasn't been to another Super Bowl.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 2 conference championships.
2 conference championships.
And a Super Bowl.
Yeah. In the league right now, by far.
Yeah.
You have to give him top 10 just for that.
Who would you rather have, Dak Prescott or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
I don't know. Kiddo's just crying.
Because Goff has that chip on his shoulder.
Oh, Dakota don't got no chip? Is that what you're saying?
He's got an arm.
Dakota got no chip, dude? Dang. Nah. He ain't got no chip, bro.
I don't see it.
Yeah, that's frustrating, though. You feel for the Lions. Damn, I wanted them to win so bad. I was like, oh my God, this is great. Go, Detroit. Go. And then...
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's hurt. That hurt.
Yeah. But it was a good game. And I mean, Detroit versus Packers would have been a good game. That's what you got to give them props. All this season's been very wide open. It's wide open. So you can't say that everybody didn't have an opportunity, didn't have a chance to make a play at going to the Super Bowl. Everybody pretty much had an even shot. It was a very wide open playoff. So you got to see some good players step up. We got to see like the reemergence of Joe Flacco, all sorts of goofy shit this season. So that was good.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield winning games. Next game giving them a run for their money. Like you just got to see, it was a very interesting playoffs, but definitely wide open. And 2 teams made it in, so we'll see.
The shame there was no Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, because if you had the Chiefs 100%, or sorry, the Bengals 100%, that would have been interesting to see.
Not Aaron Rodgers.
Or Aaron Rodgers. That would have been interesting too if he was actually playing. The Jets had it. The Jets had a pretty damn decent defense. It's not like their defense was bad. It's not like Garrett Wilson didn't put up numbers even though he had nobody throwing him the ball all year. So, we shall see. But it is wild as Dalvin Cook leaves the Jets, goes to the Ravens to chase a ring and doesn't get in. Don't even know if he had a carry in that game. But yeah, we got fucking Niners Chiefs.
Yeah, you think Diggs is gonna stay at Buffalo?
I mean, I don't know. I think Diggs is good. I do think he's a little overrated, if you want my personal opinion. And to see him regress whenever Gabriel Davis isn't out there, or what's his name? Gabriel, the other receiver that they have. When he's not out there, Diggs is not as effective. And I feel like that's very obvious just by his production in the playoffs because Gabriel didn't play all playoffs. So,
Playoffs?
I mean, while he's good, I don't think that him going somewhere else, he's going to be overpaid. So anybody else who gets him, I think they're going to feel like they overpaid for him.
Nah, he's gonna take a deal to come play with his brother.
No,
I don't care, bro. Just play with my bro.
Nah, but you got to realize, well, first of all, that's if his brother's still here. There's a probability Diggs might not be here. You're not going to keep Diggs, Bland, Parsons. You're not keeping all those guys. No, you're not. Okay, then that's like your defense, and you're going to have a bunch of scrap players everywhere else. Because all those guys, Bland's going to want to get paid. And it's not like
D-Law's already paid.
And it's not like D-Law, well, he restructured his deal. He took a pay cut to stay with y'all years ago.
Because people like being boys, baby. Well, that's what they do.
Get the fuck out of here.
Ego goes down.
But, right?
Cowboys before ego.
So, the Eagles won a Super Bowl 6 years ago. And Diggs was on that Vikings team and was one of their best offensive weapons and was like an all-pro receiver, had the miracle in Minnesota touchdown, right? Like that, like we're 6 years past that. If you go and whoever gets him, are you getting the best version of Stephon Diggs? I don't think it's as good as it used to be. It's just not. Time's not your best friend whenever you're playing, especially a skill position like that. I mean, anywhere he goes, he could go somewhere, but he's way more of a number 2 now than he is a number 1, in my opinion.
I said that about Moss, and then he went to Brady and had the best year of his career, man. Good old Randy Mouse. But yeah, let's talk about some coaches, man.
Okay. So,
your hated Chargers. What do you think?
The Chargers?
Yeah, the team you always say is shit. You think?
They got Harbaugh.
The turnaround.
I think that's
gonna do it.
Harbaugh goes to the Chargers. I think that's interesting. We talked about this, last pod where we were saying, that's where he played. So he played there. He was actually on an episode of Saved by the Bell back in the day, and visits Bayside whenever he's the starting quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. But that's going to be interesting because I'm curious to see how these minds match up. While there is some spread elements and whatnot, I mean, Herbert's going to be probably under center. He's going to be, they're going to definitely run the football. The last time we saw him in the league, I mean, he had an anomaly quarterback in Colin Kaepernick, but he was running like RPO. They were running the football. They ran the ball a lot back in the day on those Niners teams. And the passing was kind of secondary, as we're now he's taking over an offense that's got a quarterback with a really big arm that's invested a lot of money, short-term and long-term at the wide receiver spot. So it's going to be and then they haven't really overly committed to Eckler in the first place, which you would think would be the first person he would want to pay would be his running back, right? But Keenan Allen.
I think it's a big move to keep them like. I think it potentially pushes them to be bigger than the Rams. And I say that in the sense that Harbaugh is that personality that just fits LA. And like, it's just, I feel like that's going to be the new LA team.
Well, it's possible,
which
but
is weird because I still say San Diego. Almost
it's
every
gonna
time.
it's gonna come down to dubs though, and at the end of the day, I just X's and O's wise, I'm curious to see what the offensive scheme looks like and what they try to roll out. Um, what the play callings look like, how balanced it is, if it's a run heavy offense. Curious to see because at some point, like I was saying about Andy Reid, now granted, he went to Super Bowls, he went to multiple AFC or NFC championships with the Eagles back in the day too. All these guys kind of fall back to their old reliable or what they're comfortable with. So I'm curious just to see how they progress with Herbert and see what they're able to accomplish, right? I mean, on this Michigan team
Do you
that
think it's
just won.
guaranteed Chargers play Baltimore in the regular season?
Oh, I mean, they'll have something, or in the preseason at least.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they got to.
I mean, the schedule's already kind of labeled out, but they'll definitely play them in the preseason. That'll be like, or they'll be like the Hall of Fame game, something like that. The Eagles play their first game in Brazil. First game of
I didn't even know that was a thing.
First game of the year is going to be a Friday night game, and the Eagles are playing in Brazil.
Is that the only Brazil game of the year?
First one ever.
Well, yeah, I knew that, but I'm saying I know they have 2 England games.
Yeah,
so
so that's the first one of the year. So they'll play Friday.
Where is it?
That's pretty sweet though, because
where-
then they'll get that's not too crazy on the time zone.
In Rio de Janeiro?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So it's not crazy on the time zone, right?
I'm not sure.
I mean, it'd
honestly.
be a long flight, obviously, with multiple stops.
No, it's not that bad because
because of where it lines
my
up.
mom was just there not too long ago, and I feel like it's maybe a 4 or 5.
Did you just leave you'd leave the week before, right? Preseason.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, turned off.
I don't know who they're playing, but they are playing their first game out there. But yeah, coaching changes. So, Harbaugh goes to Chargers. We shall see. Now, Dan Quinn signs on as the Commanders head coach. Talk about this whole situation is super fucking incestuous. But Dan Quinn goes to DC. They hired Cliff Kingsbury as their offensive coordinator.
Big Sam Howell talk.
Well, they're talking about going after.
I mean, Sam Howell.
Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, yeah.
So we'll see about that. Are you worried about Dan Quinn being in DC?
No, not at all. And I just heard something today, and I don't know if he's getting interviewed. I did hear Cowboys interviewed. Who was it? Rex Ryan, which I actually don't hate. I
Rex.
actually like Rex for defensive coordinator. And then there was someone else that I was like, ah. But someone mentioned Vrabel. Because it's talk that he is not getting a lot of head coach talk. Because one thing is his attitude, and people are scared of his personality kind of thing.
Well, they say he's so
And
big that he's
Dan
intimidating.
Quinn's
That's
a
stupid.
hard-hitting, intimidating.
No, what it is Mike
Dan
Zimmer.
Quinn has attitude, and so I just think Vrabel is that younger version of Dan Quinn, as far as he's defensive mindset, ex-head coach. He's a guy that's not going to, stand back from talking shit to players and just getting in their face, which I love for defensive coordinators.
Yeah, but Vrabel's.
I think that would be the best fit.
Yeah, but Vrabel's been to an AFC Championship game as a head coach recently, so I think, and he's had a number 1 seed with a first-round bye.
Dan Quinn went to a Super Bowl as a head coach.
Yeah, and he blew a fucking lead. What I'm just saying is,
I know.
some of these guys, like a Vrabel, I'm telling you, a Belichick, some of them they're going to go college. Some of these guys are going to go college ranks. Mike Vrabel
I
can
guarantee
easily
Vrabel,
go
with all the
coach
shit he
and
just
go get
dealt
just
with,
as much money. Go get just as much money, and he'd have total control. Go sit and go wander around, coach and get into a big massive playoff now. It's not a 4-team playoff. Saban's the fuck out of the mix. Tennessee calls you and says, "Hey, we want you to come be our head coach of the University of Tennessee." Does Vrabel take that job? Fuck yeah, you take that job. He'd be God down there. He's won Super Bowls as a player with Bill Belichick. Recruiting would be easy. He'd have that job for the next 25 years. Some of those
Speaking
guys.
of, I'm actually shocked that Bill hasn't gotten a job.
Well, I mean, but I'm not. Also, I mean, he's interviewing for some jobs, but I think he's picky on the jobs. So, like, oh, he's not on the list. He might not want to be on your list. And Bill Belichick's going to take total control of your team. It's like Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells built that team that Wade Phillips took to a number 1 seed and went 13-3.
Phillips.
And was 13-3. Bill Parcells built that entire fucking roster out. Bill Parcells was great at personnel, great at coaching.
13-3. Was that the year? Was that the field goal year?
I'm not sure, but don't get me sidetracked. What I'm saying is, Bill Parcells was great at amassing talent, developing talent in house, getting people to buy in, so they want to stay with the team and they re-sign to get paid. They don't chase money. There wasn't a lot of people on the Cowboys that were chasing money back when Bill Parcells was there. That's why you built out that fucking roster, because they bought into the whole idea of being able to win. That's like part of his track record, right? But what happened? He had a falling out with Jerry because he gets total control. And since then, we haven't even really seen Bill Parcells. He fucked around a little bit in Miami and like ownership and being in charge, but he's like a crazy old man at that point. It's the same with Bill Parcells. I mean, with Bill Belichick. If you hire Belichick, he's going to take total control. He's Bill Parcells at the end of his career. He's going to take over your entire franchise. He wants all personnel decisions. I want this guy here, this guy there. He's going to hire all of his guys. It's a whole house change. So now if he got hired to the Commanders, that could make sense. He'd clean house, but they've already hired a president. They've already made moves to replace people in the front office to show they're committed to change, and they like those people. So that's probably why the Commanders didn't want to hire him. It's probably why Arthur Blank didn't want to hire him for the Falcons. It's total control. I'd rather take a flyer on a young guy who's got new ideas than get the old hermit who's going to dominate my entire franchise and take all the credit if he wins. Like Tampa. All the credit goes to Tom Brady. Not Mike Evans, not Godwin. That winning that Super Bowl, it all hinges on before they got Brady, right? But there was lots of other people, and that's what they did. They sold their soul for a Super Bowl to get Brady, which is great. And Baker's played good. They made the playoff. But you see what I'm saying? Like, they got that Super Bowl, and it'll always be because he went there. It'll never be all the great moves they made, the great drafts, the investment on defense, having Godwin, having these key position players, keeping Mike Evans around through all the bullshit with Jameis Winston or Josh Freeman. We forgot about that bad draft pick at quarterback, but because Tom Brady was there. So you forget Shaq, you forget about all those guys. Forget about everybody at Shaq Barnett. You forget about drafting that dude and developing in him and making him a talent. It all goes out the window because of Tom Brady. You'd get that same effect with Belichick. If Drew Brees went somewhere, if Aaron Rodgers wins it with the Jets, that's why he went to the Jets. So if I win, I get all the glory, all the accolades, all the claim, and I get to say that I won the Super Bowl for the Jets because they were never gonna win it till I got here. They all got egos. And then now the Eagles hire Vic Fangio as defensive coordinator. Great move. I like it. And then we just stole the secondary and corners coach from the Broncos to be one of our secondary coaches. Great move. And then we hired Kellen Moore as our offensive coordinator. Kellen Moore is the new offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. Crazy to say. I'm interested to see what it looks like. Honestly. No, I mean, when you think about the production that he gets from tight ends, whether it's at Los Angeles with Everett, or it was with the Cowboys, he's always gotten production out of his tight ends, which is, I think Dallas Goedert's always underutilized. If you've ever had him on fantasy, you'd feel the same fucking way. Super talented, can get open. But I think someone with the tools that he has with an A.J. Brown and a Devontae Smith, I think that could be interesting to see how he chooses to get those guys open. I I don't think it's necessarily a bad move by the Eagles because it's proven that Kellen Moore can call plays. He calls plays like an adult. He's not going to be like Brian Johnson where he's drawing up quarterback draws on 3rd and 20 on 1st and 20 from our 10-yard line in the fourth quarter and we're up 10. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So it's not like he's going to be calling goofy shit like that. And he's pretty balanced between the run and pass. I'm curious to see. Like, I mean, he says he's committed to trying to making Jalen Hurts a dynamic playmaker. We'll see what that looks like. But for our receiving core, that's huge, right? I mean, Joe, is Kellen Moore an up, like, with our offensive weapons? That sounds like it could be interesting.
Didn't realize I was still muted there.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem really interesting. He's had success in the past. Haven't followed him too closely.
Well, for a guy that has,
it could be interesting.
I see.
I don't see him calling goofy plays. I guess J Hugs already forgot about the Kellen Moore play with Zeke taking the snap under center in the playoffs.
Well,
Goofiest
what do you
play
want?
fucking in NFL history.
It's like, what do you mean? It's a swinging gate play. Like you never.
Oh, it's horrible.
If you're in a position where you're
Horrible.
running that, it's already you're too far gone.
Yeah, I guarantee he probably calls the annexation of Puerto Rico at one point.
No, I think that his utilization of space and the open sides of the field, I think he has the opportunity to put up some big numbers.
He's gonna go into the huddle and go, "Hey guys, I got these tablets. I wanted to put them in your mouth and act like you're foaming at the mouth."
And I don't think you can really put a lot of what was going on with the Chargers on him when you think about the amount of injuries that team suffered throughout the year and holdouts. Then you got a quarterback.
Stanley was a horrible.
You got a quarterback running around with a finger like a big ass fucking dildo on his non-throwing hand. Then he breaks his other middle finger and now it looks like a big dildo on his throwing hand. Just like laughable shit. Where, you know, the fact they put up any points is honestly incredible. I think it's interesting. This could be like villain arc. Villain arc Kellen Moore. Drafted by, played for, got the job all with the Cowboys to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's like Anakin going to the dark side, though.
Never liked the kid. Like I said, if you Google,
I hope we hire Jason. I hope we hire Jason Garrett.
Kid.
Jason Garrett as our special teams coach. Coach.
Well,
just
he's got a
and then Wade Phillips is like a talent scout, and just like everybody gets an Eagles ring.
Just because Jason Garrett got brought up, it doesn't have to do with coaches. But y'all hear the announcing news? Bye Greg Olson. Hello Tom Brady.
Yeah, but I mean, Tom Brady before he retired signed like a 10-year, $380 million deal.
Yeah, but I felt like Greg Olson was working his ass off, and then they're just like, "See ya."
Well, Greg Olson's still gonna call games, but it'll just be summer. Greg Olson does a good job. I mean, he's a little bit of a try.
Is he staying with Fox?
I mean, I guess. Who knows? Somebody else will hire him. It's not like he's not likable.
Who did I see? CBS. It was on the playoff game.
But that's who.
CBS
That's who
was,
Brady.
Trying out a new young guy in their in their horrible pregame old man show.
Well, because they're gonna have to start paying Tom Brady $38 million a year, and they're like, all right, we got to start getting rid of some of these guys in like the tens.
Well, no, that's
the teens of $1 million a year, so we can pay for Brady.
And CBS's show is just so bad. It has been. Fucking Phil Simms.
Yeah, I hate Phil Simms, dude. I can't stand Phil Simms.
What's his name, too, is not that good. The guy that always sits next to the old Steelers coach. I always forget his name. Not Boomer, but he's a white guy. Looks like he's fucking lives at the golf course. He's on CBS pre-show. He's always on the far right.
Steelers quarterback Terry Bradshaw.
No, that's Fox.
That's Fox. Terry's the best, dude.
No way, Terry's.
My parents were all
Terry's
worried that Terry
bumbling
was
idiot.
like. My parents were like, "Oh, we didn't see Terry on the pregame. We're hoping he's all right with his health." No, we didn't know why he wasn't there. And I go, "Well, I'm pretty sure because
Well, he's had health
on
scares. Health scares.
well, someone I know on Instagram was at Rachel's wedding. So I was like, I'm pretty sure his daughter had a wedding, so he was probably there."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah, I mean, he needs,
But he is also
the Gronk's
bumbling fool.
basically his replacement.
The new mumbling fool.
Yeah, I'd be like, the ball got the high spike. Yeah, they're like, good job, Gronk. Nah,
Dude, I gotta hate on another show. I'd never watched this, by the way. I don't know what came over me to watch this today, but Undisputed with Skip Bayless.
dude, Skip Bayless is so
Oh my
long.
God, it was so hard to watch.
With
Skip
Michael
Bayless
Irvin being like,
and
Richard
it
Sherman.
was Richard Sherman
Yeah.
and Skip Bayless just talking over each other, and literally Keyshawn's like, "Guys, can we like?" And Sherman's like, "No, I'm not letting him talk. If he's gonna talk this nonsense, I'm just talking over him." I was like, "God, this is children."
It's
shit.
like everybody who got fired by ESPN is now working with Skip Bayless. So like Keyshawn
Dude,
Johnson.
I honestly, the only thing I could think while watching that segment today was, "Wow, how does this man have a show fucking still?" I think it's literally Lil Wayne backing him. He's like, "Come on, guys, my boy Skip, help him out, man."
Undisputed. He'd be like,
Have you seen him on the show? That's the only other time I watched this season when Lil Wayne was on.
He's so fucked up.
And me and Warden were both watching, and we were like, "What is going on? Like, why is he even on the show?"
Yeah, because they're best friends. He's best friends with them.
It's also because they're trying to fucking push that rating spike. They're fucking hurting.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's bad. It's bad.
I will say though, FS1 does have first take first, or what is it?
Yeah.
Comes on before speed. Those guys are really good. They've become one of my favorite duo, or the banter between the three guys.
Okay. What other big coaching changes?
Saw
a bunch of no-name.
There was one other big fire. Raiders hiring and keeping on what's his name?
Antonio
Didn't I hear
Pierce.
that? Yeah, I think that'll be good for the team. I think everyone in the team was happy and wanted it.
Shout out Chad Johnson, just signed to the coaching staff. Shout out Chad Ochocinco, just signed to the Raiders.
Ocho.
He was wanting to get a gig maybe with the Eagles as a receivers coach. He's trying to get a job as a receivers coach somewhere. But he got a job with the Raiders. So shout out.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the team that everyone I feel like wants to do good just because of the star power that they got with Devontae going there. It's Vegas. And I'll be honest, Raiders have always been, to me, the coolest team in the NFL. They're black and gray. They're intimidating as fuck. They have a cool ass pirate symbol. Their fans are always fucking spiked shoulder. Like, they're the coolest, dude. You can hate them or love them, but they're cool.
No, I don't think so.
The black and gray is boring. It's not good.
Bro, you go back to when you were a kid, okay? You're showing up Sunday or Saturday morning for Pee Wee football, and you got your team, right? The Mustangs, or the fucking, just the bullshit fucking Pee Wee football team. And then here comes this team, the fucking Pirates, and they're all black. And you're just like, holy fuck, dude, this team is fucking scary. We're blue and red.
Miserable in that all black.
Not me, man. We were green, black. We were green, black, and white. We were dragons, so we weren't scared of shit.
Actually,
boy. Let's
you
go.
know what the
It's
most
like
intimidating
gang,
Pee Wee football,
bam, bam,
the most
bam.
intimidating Pee Wee football team in our area.
Great
was
I was actually the
all
Mustangs
purple.
growing up.
Yeah, was all purple, called the Ambassador Eagles, and that team even got in trouble for having kids on the team that were a little too old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, tall ass, big ass brothers just fucking like giving big stiff arms to these little white boys.
That's great.
I remember it.
That's racial
Fuck, what is my
equality.
phone doing? Phone is crooked, dude.
Are any other big coaching changes? I mean, Cowboys, DC, we'll see. I hope it's someone like Rex Ryan or somebody who talks too much. That's just because if they go in and do a good job and it's someone like Rex Ryan, like a variable, they're going to be like, well, they should make Rex Ryan the head coach. Like, all I'm saying is I find it very funny. Cowboys fans for a grip all year. We're talking about how McCarthy sucks. We got to get rid of McCarthy, and Dan Quinn needs to be the head coach. And then he has some bad games in a row, loses a playoff game, and now it's like, oh man, Dan Quinn fucking sucks. He needs to get the fuck out of town. He didn't have all the pieces. He had people that were safeties playing linebacker. He had people out of position. And honestly, what Dan Quinn was able to pull off will be interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of like Cowboys revenge games lining up where it's like, Dan Quinn and Washington versus. Oh, he just keeps freezing. These are great. He just keep freezing. It's awesome. Now you have no sound.
Yeah, your face when it froze.
Yeah.
Just too good. Too good.
We lost him.
Oh, he said deuces.
Well, I want to get into picks, but I want to see if Goody shows up. If he shows up, it's around 10:30 or 9:30.
He's fucking scared of the fucking Elwood, man. You don't want these fat boy dad bod coming at him. Quick, there he is. Let's pull something.
Do you want to make a bet right now for the football season? I bet Eagles finish better in the division than the Cowboys.
Oh god, yeah, right.
That's pre-draft.
Okay, well, I bet Cowboys is the first team in I don't know how long to win the East 2 years in a row.
So you're saying they'll do better in the division? I'm saying that the Eagles win. Okay, how much do you want to put on it?
Well, no, you're not saying the Eagles win the division. You're saying better than the Cowboys. So technically,
all right, so they win.
Giants.
So they win the division.
Who, Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How much?
Now with Ken more.
How much do you want to put down?
That was
on
Stand
it?
By Me.
How much do you want to gamble?
I don't gamble, dude. I already spend $300 a year on fantasy. That's my it's one league.
Well, all right.
Payout's nice.
Well, Goody's not here yet, so we're gonna get into bets. Bets.
Oh.
2.0.
Talk about the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, Puppy Bowl. Oh, what do you think's the first commercial shown?
Doritos.
State Farm. What's the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing they're promoting? It's like the State Farm movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Agent State Farm.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So you think it's Agent State Farm?
I do, just because they're building it up so much.
2.0. What do you think?
Doritos.
Ooh. I'm saying Mercedes. It's a Mercedes commercial.
Oh. I'm saying NFL Network.
It'll be like a new electric vehicle. So if it's not Mercedes, it'll be some new electric vehicle. All right. Anyways, what do you got for us 2.0?
We got, let's see here, 5, we'll call it 4 plays here. First off, total, taken under 47.5 at minus 108. So taking the under here, we have seen about 60% of the money coming in on the over, but the line has not moved at all. Typically, whenever this happens, it means that the book knows more than the general public. So you want to pay attention to those kinds of things. If money keeps coming in on the over, but the line isn't moving, it's because the book wants people to keep betting over that number because they they usually, like 95% of the time, have it on good authority that the game will go under. And it makes sense of one way I could see this game playing out. 49ers pound the run game. They use Debo, they use McCaffrey, they maybe even use Ayuk. They get creative, they run the ball, they try and keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Keep him off the field, limit their ability to score, control the game. And then I think the Chiefs are going to have to do the same thing here. They're not going to want to get the ball in McCaffrey's hand. They're not going to want to let Debo kind of make those big plays and be Debo. So they're both going to want to control the clock. They're both going to want to run the ball, and that equals a running clock, which equates to a low-scoring game, which is why I'm taking under 47.5.
Okay, I like that play.
All right. Next up, we got Brock Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards. He's eclipsed this number in his last two playoff games. This is really the last two playoffs games is really the first time we've seen him run and scramble and make plays with his legs. And he's athletic. Like, he's fast. He's like deceptively fast. So Super Bowl, everything's out on the line. And then you have the Chiefs D-line. You know they're going to get pressure. You know they're going to collapse the pocket. That's going to give Brock Purdy opportunities to scramble. He's going to run the ball. He's going to try and make plays with his legs. He only needs to get 12.5 rushing yards. I think he can easily get that on 3 or 4 plays. 3 or 4 scrambles, I should say. So then we got Patrick Mahomes under half an interception. So we're betting him to not throw an interception, essentially. He has 7 interceptions in 17 career playoff games, I want to say. And he has the lowest interception-worthy play rate in the playoffs out of his entire career. It's 1.7% of plays are interception-worthy or turnover-worthy, meaning 1.7% of plays, there's even a chance that an interception could have been thrown. So he knows he's been on this stage before. He's not going to get blinded by it. He's not going to feel the pressure to go and make a big play. He knows he has a solid defense. He's going to make smart decisions. He's going to just dink and dunk, put the ball where he can. And I think he's going to be smart with the ball and not throw any interceptions. So, Patrick Mahomes under half an interception.
Okay.
Then we got Travis Kelce over 69.5 receiving yards at minus 110. Last 3 games, he's averaging 83.5 receiving yards per game. 49ers like to play his own defense. They like to kind of spread out. Patrick Mahomes and Kelce, they're good at finding the hole, sitting down. Mahomes dumps it to him. And then they keep doing that. Then they sneak Kelce behind him. They'll get him the ball for like a 30-yard gain. We've seen it done every single game. If they want to win this game, he has to be a big part of their offensive game plan, and I think he is. So I'm taking his over on receiving props as well.
Okay.
Is there a bet for if he proposes to Taylor?
Probably. There's bets on everything. You can bet on
Make
what
it.
Usher's first song is going to be.
Oh, I already
I
know what it's
bet-
gonna be.
Yeah. That's what I think it is. It's his most iconic song. It's a song everybody knows. It's going
Which
to come
one?
out hot, be like, yeah, 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 and then do like the whole like dancing thing because he's Usher, as Usher does.
Ain't gonna be.
So then some
Let it burn.
smaller like fun props that you can bet on. You can bet Travis Kelce over half a rushing yard at plus 627. If you want to do a light sprinkle on that. The Super Bowl, who knows what'll happen? Andy Reid's going to get creative. We saw it last week. They gave the ball to Kelce. I think he had like 2 rushing yards or something. He only needs to get over half a rushing yard in order for us to hit this prop bet. Why not? It's kind of fun. On the coin toss, I'm taking tails at plus 100. Don't really have a good reason for it. I just kind of like tails more than heads. Whenever I'm doing a coin toss, I always call tails.
Gross.
Tails never fails, dude. Come
He's a
on.
butt
Come
boy.
on.
I always said heads drop some dead, and then I take heads and always get it right. So fuck tails.
All right, you guys take heads. I'll take tails. We'll see who wins money. Make sure you get it at plus 100 though. There are some books that try and offer like minus 104, minus 110. No, plus 100. It's a pure 50-50 bet. Just do that. And that's about all I have for bet.
What squares you picking, dude?
3s, 7s, 4s. I don't have any squares. 1s, 3s, 7s, 4s.
You're not doing
Some
squares,
combination
dude?
of those are all good. I mean, like I'll buy them when I go to a Super Bowl party, but
Hell
I don't
yeah.
have any like pre-set up.
I've never won, but let's go.
For people that are all about squares, like this is their time of year. They like come out of the woodwork, you know. I've been working on these squares all year. Got the perfect.
Yeah, right.
size.
Every time I've played it, it's like last minute. Everyone's like, "Hey, we need more people. The game's about to start. Draw it up."
Someone just buy the last square. You're like, I don't want to, dude. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
All right, you got any other bets, or is that all? Who are you taking in the game?
49ers.
What score?
27-23.
Smellwood, what you taking?
The Chiefs.
What's the score?
27-10.
Okay. I don't know who to take. Well, I guess I'll take the Niners, unfortunately. Niners. But I think it's close. 21-24. Real close game.
See, as a Cowboy fan, I guess I have more hatred towards Niners.
Yeah, you have to. I'm like,
Yeah.
Because
That
if
old rivalry.
Mahomes wins, then we'll never hear the end of it. It'll never stop. That's it. Our fates for our whole future.
You act like if he doesn't win, well, I mean, it's Mahomes, bro. His
Well, I
career
guess
is
either
going
way,
to
then they'll be like, Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, do you want Brock Purdy to win one? But I like Kittle. Kittle's awesome. I like Ayuk. So there's guys on the defense I really like. Hargraves.
You know, like
Hargraves was an Eagle last year, and now he's on the Niners. So if he got a ring, that'd be cool. So I'm not opposed to it. But, man, either way, we're never going to hear the end of this shit. Like, imagine Brock Purdy in, like, Subway commercials. Oh, my God. Shoot me in the face.
Nah, dude, he'd be making, if he's truly Mr. Irrelevant, he'd be like coming out with Quizno.
That'd be tight. He's like, we're bringing it back.
Hey, Quizno's arms!
Yeah, I'd be down. Well, all right. Is that all your bets, sir? Is that...
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes,
well,
sir.
that is 2.0's bets. You guys got anything else? I know it's late.
Disc golf season starting soon. I'm pumped.
Oh my God. I'll go with you one of these days, just to go and complain the whole time.
What do you mean, play or to a tournament?
I'll go play with you.
Well, come on, bro. It's actually a good fucking hike.
I'll go walk. I'll go watch a tournament with you.
Yeah, there's one in Waco and Austin this year.
They're good. I'm
I'm
not. So like, if I go play, I suck. But I'll go watch someone play if they're good.
I will
What are you
say
playing?
disc golf. I will say the one in Austin, I really want to go, but guess fucking what weekend they have the disc golf tournament?
What?
South by Southwest.
Oh, lame.
Music weekend. So the worst one.
Yeah.
It's not like interactive, like where you're like, oh, it's still chill. Like, oh no, music where all the fucking nutbags show up.
Well, if you want, me and Joe are going to Vegas soon.
Well, no. What do I got planned other than work on this fucking house this year?
Yeah, you come for like 2 days.
Oh, we are doing a disc golf trip for my birthday in May. We're gonna go camping and out to Dino Hills, which is what's that area called? It's like where they got the fossils by the creek.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
hit
an
me.
hour.
Just text me, IRL. That's in real life, and let me know. And yeah, I'd be down. But no, if you want, we're gonna go to Vegas for a couple of days. Go play some cards and shit and roll some dice. You should come. If not,
Where y'all staying?
I don't know. We're gonna figure out probably like the Link or something somewhere near the
I'm gonna
strip.
go sleep at the Sphere.
Yeah, I want to check out the Sphere too. At least see
Yeah,
it
that'd
from
be dope.
afar while it's like,
Y'all gotta go do the Honda Museum.
oh my god.
Pretty good.
Well, you guys got
Been
anything?
there twice.
Got anything else sports wise, Super Bowl wise, life wise?
Stars, #1 in the division. Even though they lost tonight, I don't know how that affects us. But they're
I
doing
believe they're
good.
tied with the Avs, no?
Oh,
They were beating the Avs. Like I said, they lost tonight, so I don't know.
damn.
Honestly, Winnipeg is the one that's fucking crushing it. They're like 2 games behind.
Called out
They
by
got-
an Avs fan.
False. We're tied in points, but the Avs have more wins.
Oh,
Yeah. But we have less losses.
shots fired. Shots fired. Shots
But
fired.
we have
man.
won more games than you guys.
But we have less losses.
We are still ranked above you guys.
Y'all have played one more game than us.
All right, Elwood and 2.0, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, 2 more. Yeah, get out of here.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. As always, we'll have to do a football recap. We'll take some weeks off.
What you doing for Super Bowl? Are you working?
No, I'll be off, so I'm not really sure. I'll let you know. We're gonna figure something
Come to
out.
Wardens.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know. I'll text you. Figure something out. I have no plans right now, so I
That
just
means no. That is the.
No, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll let you know.
well, because it's not like anyone's teams are really in it, so I get to actually like go somewhere I want to go, rather than being like, oh, I gotta go
Right.
watch
Well,
with all
I
the
had
Eagles,
2
or oh, I
options.
gotta go.
And my other option was my buddy's wife is decorating it and making it a Taylor Swift theme party, and I was like, yeah, I'll go to the other party.
That could be fun though.
Yikes.
Well,
Well,
I'm gonna actually go watch some Yellowstone, boys. Maybe I'll rub some cattle, yeah.
if I catch you fucking my cattle again, I fuck the cattle around here, boy.
If I catch you fucking my
Yeah.
sheep, I'll shear you.
Yeah, you tell him, Pa. You tell him, Pa. We fuck them around here. That's right. God damn it.
I do like though in the show, like they're all like in Montana, and it's like, oh, we're real cowboys.
I
And
was in
anytime
Field
Texas
of
is mentioned,
Dreams.
they're like one person was like, oh, the rodeo in Canada, man, that's my favorite, and just people are so nice. And this is literally the line, and he goes, the rodeo in Fort Worth, you just think of the word fight, and they're looking for you. I was like, hell yeah, like don't fuck with Texas, man.
Hey, boy. Yeah, you tell him, Pa. Don't be fucking with Texas. You tell him. You heard my boy.
Oh,
Well-
and do y'all think Luka actually does anything with the Mavs with Kyrie this year?
I think Luca's leaving. Honestly, I think Luca's dipping.
You think Cuban's gonna fucking let him go?
At some point, he doesn't have a choice.
I bet Cuban gets homeboy from the Nuggets over from their same
Jokic?
countryman.
We'll see. They're gonna have to figure
Yeah.
something out. The Navs look good, but
Oh,
they got.
no way in hell.
Yeah, bro, he's stealing
No
them. The
way.
countrymen are gonna unite under the blue.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate
Are
you guys.
Are you born and raised actually in Denver or Colorado, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense then.
His mom, my sister, grew up in Boulder in like the 60s and 70s. Shout out my sister.
The real hippies.
Yeah,
I'm
she's.
one of the few people that can get a Colorado native license plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a rare out there with all the implants that are moving there.
True.
transplants, if you will.
Yeah, or
Tell me about
or
it.
we implant them
Yeah.
in the butt. Well, I appreciate you guys being here as always. Thank you. Elwood
Okay.
2.0.
On that.
Y'all have a good, safe night. Thank you for being here as always.
Later.
I'll see y'all next week. I love those idiots. Well, we appreciate you being here as always. Angry Black Quarterback, number 44, the Super Bowl we didn't want. But we got it. So y'all be good, be safe, stay out of trouble as always. Old Man Huggie signing out. We'll see you next week. Y'all be good. Peace.